Hello again, friends. It's time for religion. Yesterday we heard the story of Jesus performing his very first miracle. And a miracle is something that can only happen through the power of God's love. And they were at a wedding, Jesus and Mary and some of his apostles, and they ran out of wine. And Mary heard this and she was so upset. She didn't want the bride and groom's wedding, their special day, their celebration to be ruined. So she went to Jesus and asked him to do something. Now Jesus said, "Ma, I don't think it's time yet." But he wanted to please his mother, so he had to give it a try. Sometimes you might feel like there's something that you can't do, but you want to give it a try anyway. And often, if your mom or your dad or myself believe in you, give you a little confidence, it turns out you can do it. Now certainly we can't perform miracles, but in these stories the miracles help us realize, and helped many followers of Jesus realize, that he truly was sent by God. So today we're going to hear a story about another miracle. Bartimaeus was a blind man sitting by the roadside, begging. Some kind-hearted people likely gave him a small coin or pieces of food as they passed by. Bartimaeus could not work because he could not see. He could only beg. One day, the roadway was busy. Bartimaeus heard the trampling of many feet. Something unusual surely must be happening. Soon, the blind man learned what it was. What do you think it was? Right? He used his sense of hearing. He knows something's going on. He hears a lot of feet. Jesus of Nazareth was coming in town. Crowds gathered to see and hear him. "Jesus!" called out Bartimaeus. Why do you think he's calling him? Do you think he wants to beg him for some food? Let's see. Why did he think Jesus could help him? Perhaps he heard about Jesus healing others. Some were deaf. Some were crippled. "Jesus," he called, "Jesus!" Bartimaeus was sure of one thing. If he didn't get help now, he might never get another chance. Jesus might never pass his way again. Bartimaeus had to reach Jesus, but people didn't move. "Shh, shh," they said. They warned him to be quiet. So here he is trying to get through the crowd. Here he's calling out to Jesus, and everybody's shushing him. But Bartimaeus didn't shush up. He kept on yelling. And suddenly, Jesus stopped. He listened. "Bring the blind man to me," he said. "Rise, he is calling you." So Bartimaeus stood up. Throwing aside his garment, Bartimaeus rose and came to Jesus. Now, he can't see Jesus, right? He has to follow the sound of his voice. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked. What do you think he wants Jesus to do? Would you ask for lots of money or nice fancy clothes? What is it that Bartimaeus wanted? No, blind Bartimaeus didn't ask Jesus for gold or nice clothes. He didn't even ask Jesus for food. Do you know what he wanted? "Lord, that I may receive my sight," Bartimaeus wanted to see so badly. To see the trees and the birds and the beauty of all God's creation. He wanted to see so he could care for himself and not beg anymore. Then Jesus said to Bartimaeus, "Receive your sight. Your faith has saved you." So in this story, we have more. At once, he received his sight and followed Jesus. All he could say was, "God is wonderful. He healed me." It was a wonderful moment for Bartimaeus. All the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. Once again, they had seen the wonderful power of God's Son, Jesus, bringing sight to a poor beggar. Did you hear what Jesus said? What healed him? Your faith has saved you. Why do you think he said that? Right? Remember, faith is when we can believe in something even though we can't see it. Like Santa Claus, right? We don't always see Santa Claus. And the tooth fairy. Well, in this case, Bartimaeus, he couldn't see Jesus, but he had heard of him. And he believed that God was going to send a Messiah. So Jesus said, your faith has healed you. Because you believed in me without seeing me, you were healed. So today what you will do is, right there, here is the picture of Bartimaeus begging. And also, there are a couple of other stories in the Bible where Jesus heals blind men. And here is another one. He heals 2 blind men. He says he sees their faith and he gives them their sight. So you can color any way you'd like. And I'm going to see if I can find a little video clip for you on these. Okay, so boys and girls, let's remember, let's keep our faith. Even though we don't always believe in things or fully understand them, that's what faith is. You can believe even though you can't see and we don't always understand. Okay, boys and girls, I miss you terribly and I'll see you tomorrow again. Have a good night.